Hey there guys, and welcome to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me today. And today we are spotlighting the train construction site mod by Lovely Santa, who is a member in the general streaming Twitch community. And it's a mod I'm pretty excited to spotlight. So quite like a very long time ago, I spotlighted another automatic train building mod, which I think had some advantages to this and some disadvantages. Again, this was a very long time ago. It's very dated at this point. I don't know if this is just like an updated version of it, but this one is quite nice. There's a few little things I have problems with, but overall, I think this is really cool and really fun. So, as the name would indicate, and as you can kind of see here, this allows you to have trains automatically built at these depots. And I'm going to walk you through how to go ahead and set this up. It's fairly straightforward, especially once you kind of get the hang of it and understand how it works. And one of my favorite parts is it requires no circuits. Requires no circuit network. I know I think maybe like Train Supply Manager and stuff like that maybe lets you auto construct trains. I'm not sure. But this one is kind of just a standalone constructor, which is pretty cool. So first off, let's look at some research. So trains, if we search train, we get, some basic stuff, automated rail transport, which unlocks train stations as well as modded train depot. And then this normal automated train assembly unlocks all the other stuff. And then there's some fuel, which I'll explain in a minute. Now, one really nice thing I like about this mod is it actually adds an entire tab for transport logistics, which includes the modded items as well as vanilla items, including vanilla vehicles. I think having these in their own tab instead of spread out between multiple tabs is actually really nice. So this adds several new items. It adds the train depot, the train builder, the train builder controller, multiple types of fuel, and then locomotive parts, cargo wagon parts, fluid wagon parts, and artillery wagon parts, which I'll explain here shortly. So the first thing you need to do when you go to use this mod is you need to set up your depots first. It will not let you actually set up a train builder until you set up a depot because the trains have to go to a depot after they're built. So we go here, place down track. These place just like a train station. You place them down, and there's a few options. You can change the depot name either here or here. And then there's some statistics. Available depot spots, 3 out of 3. Requested trains, 1 out of 3. And train builders on this depot is 1. So I've named all these the same. And I've requested basically 1 to each one here. And basically what will happen is until the request is completed, until we have fulfilled 3 out of 3, then the train builder will continue automatically making trains for us and sending them here. Is how this will work. So until you have done the requested amount, you kind of just have a rail yard stacker here for them, and it will continue to build the trains and send them here. So this is really all you have to do. Just set it up. Pretty straightforward. You can name them what you want. You can increase and decrease this with these arrows. There's some little tool tips here as well. And then I've set up signals just, kind of like a normal stacker, just so we don't have any collisions or anything like that. And then we come down, and you need a rail, obviously, somewhere that's connected to this. It could be, way off in the distance, through junctions and stuff, as long as the trains can get to here, as they can anyway. And then you place these down, and there is some specifics on how you need to do this. You can build these, and they're really not that expensive. So we take these train builders, and they need to be placed on a rail first off. So you place them down. Second thing is they have to be placed 1 space apart. You can see it won't let me do it here. They have to be 1 space apart like this, okay? So you just space them out, just like I have here. And you'll see some arrows. And these arrows indicate the orientation that the thing in them is going to be built at. So you click on them and you can just simply set a recipe. The orientation is really, in my opinion, only important for the locomotives and the artillery wagons. You can do it for cargo wagons, as I've done here. I don't really know. I mean, I think cargo wagons and fluid wagons look the same way regardless. But the locomotives and the artillery are important because the artillery looks different, obviously, depending which way you face it, and the locomotive obviously functions different because it's driving one way or the other. So you just go in here, set what you want, and then you can either hit R over these to rotate the orientation. So like this would be a double-headed train, locomotive on each end, going each direction. And then you could also do it via the train controller, which I'll show you shortly. Now these do take quite a long time to pick up. Fortunately, I think I'm actually going to have my bots try to attempt to do it. So luckily they're very quick with it. And there we go. Now, in order for this to work, you need to have a train controller, and you need to have this in the front, like, of the whole depot construction area. And you place it as you would place a station on the same side that you would place a station. So the train is going to be leaving from this and going to the right. So we need to place it on the right-hand side in front of where there's a locomotive. And you need a locomotive on the front of the train for this to work, obviously facing the correct direction. So that is one thing to keep note of there. Then we click on this and we can change the name. So this basically just, this is a little confusing. This is basically just saying which depot you're having this go to. If you had multiple depots with different names, you could choose it. Same with this. And then you can see here, depot requested status, the number of trains in the depot versus how many trains the depot requested. So it's currently requesting one train at a time, and there's 0 in there. And then the status is constructing the train, which it will do once we supply it. And then we can change the configuration. We can, the configuration not so much, but we can change the direction. So you can hit R. You can also hit these arrows. And this didn't really let me do it because I just changed the locomotive facing the other way, and it broke the controller. Because again, like I said, it needs to be facing the right way. So I'm just going to go back in here, select Depot 1. And there we go. We need to hit that. So this thing's all ready to go. You can change the colors as well, which is pretty cool. So I could change these to be, just make these like green, just to show you this works. And then all you need to do is supply it. Now, here is where things change a bit with the actual train recipes. It gives you these parts that you put in, and basically these are just, basically just like all the ingredients you would normally use to build a locomotive, just like put into a part. And these special parts, the mod dev has just made it that way for some reason. So you just need to put these in. They just represent whatever's going to be built. So we're requesting these, as well as some fuel. Another change is, I guess the mod dev decided to make it so that you can just make fuel from like a standard fuel. So it's just standardized train fuel from every type of existing fuel in the game. The problem with this is they seem to all have like the same fuel value as far as I can tell. They don't actually list the fuel value. So I feel like, I'm not sure if it would really count these. One thing you could do is just put like a few in, and then you could just have it automatically. You could have like a fuel station at your depots putting the actual vanilla fuel in here if you wanted, I suppose, since you can still make them. So that is an option as well, but just for constructing it, you do need those special fuels. So there we go. We have a chest, passive here. We are requesting these things. These are just requesting the items. So let's put some robots here and actually show you how this works. So I'm going to put some logistic robots in here, and they're going to fly over here and grab everything. And this is going to start constructing. Now, one thing, I like the graphics of this. The one I spotlighted a long time ago was just like literally a station, and that was it. It was more straightforward. But it definitely didn't look as nice. This actually looks kind of cool. And you could have multiple of these as well on different sets of track, making different things. Now, this is very slow, is my main complaint with this. My main complaint is this is really slow. Like, you could definitely place these down faster by hand than this constructs them, which in a way seems to almost counteract the entire point of the mod. Except that if you are building a ton of trains, like for a mega base in particular, you know, personally, I don't mind building 3-4 trains by hand, but if I'm going to need like 40 trains, even if I can technically place them faster, per train by hand, I don't want to sit there and place 40 trains by hand and all that. So even though this is slow, you could just have a ton of these working, and they'll just work. That's the thing. It's kind of like an assembling machine. Sure, an assembling machine is slower than your hand crafting, but it will be working all the time. And that's the advantage of this. So once this constructs, it's going to have them appear here. Turn those off just so we can see it. You can see here. Boom, boom, boom. Colors match. And off he goes. He's going to the depot. It's already in his schedule. Now, you would have to then add any stops you want him to go after that. So, like, if you actually want it to go on some set route between production facilities, you need to add these, but you can do this from the map, so it's not like you have to walk over here every time, just like anything else. You can click on it through the map, get rid of the depot if you want, change this to wherever you want it to go. And you could have these be like pull-through stations if you want, or have them leave, but you could just kind of have it pull through or leave the depot. And there you go. It's as simple as that, and this will continue constructing them until the whole request is met. So you'll see here it's constructing yet another one, already 50% done. Another note is you can send trains from elsewhere into these depots. So if you just want a gigantic train yard using these depots, you can certainly just send trains just without a train builder to these depots if you want. You can just set them on a schedule like anything else. So that is an option. They do take a fair bit of power as well. We have 6 of them here, and they're taking about 3 megawatts, which may not seem like much. It's not that much, but you know, if you're building 12 long trains and you have 10 builders doing this, it'll add up a bit. At that stage, though, it's probably not that important. Now you'll see this guy's not actually heading off anywhere, and that's because I've only requested 1 train at this depot. So this is where things get a little convoluted. Even though I have 3 depots and they're all separate, I actually need to be requesting more trains than this. So if I request 3, and since they're all named the same, it kind of goes between all of them. So that's really just what I need to do, is just set it to 3 initially. Since I signaled this, the next one should go to this station, and then it should be done. And there you go, guys. That's the mod. I know it was kind of a lot of instructions until you actually saw it happen, but I wanted to explain what was going to happen before I just did it. And yeah, so there you go. It's a really cool mod, I think. Honestly, I may use it in future mega bases. Again, it's slow. It's a little tedious to set up, but once it is set up, it's nice. It'll just automatically build it for you. In terms of blueprinting it, you can't really blueprint it. You could blueprint the track beforehand, but sadly, you can't actually blueprint these, unfortunately. Let's just really quickly, there's like 2 settings for this. Train builder update speed, so the lower you set this, the faster, like the less performance intensive it will be. And the faster you set this, like the higher number, basically the more resource intensive it will be. So yeah, there you go. The only other thing is, by default, this actually doesn't let you place trains manually, but there's a setting to change that. Just check this if you want to be able to also place trains manually, which I personally would want to, so probably do want to turn this on. And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I know a bit of a long video, a bit of a long explanation, but I wanted to do my best to explain how to use it, in addition to just showing you what it was. And hopefully that made sense. I think it's really cool. I think it's neat. Again, you could do this for artillery trains, liquid trains, combos, or whatever, since you can just set it in here. Just make sure your locomotives and stuff are facing the right direction. And as a last quick note, you wouldn't need one on the end. I just build my trains this way. Just as long as there's one, by the actual controller facing the correct way to pull out, then you should be fine. And you can put, obviously, multiple ones in here, color them however you want, etc., etc. Set up multiple of these, and you should be good to go. And now it is going to build another one. Of course, the depots are full, so theoretically it should just sit here, which is fine. And then, once one of those trains leaves or is picked up or something, then it will just be ready to send it on off. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I do hope you enjoyed. And as always, there's a link in the mod description, in the video description to the mod portal where you can check this out. As one very last note, you can't put efficiency modules in here. I tried, you cannot put any other modules, and you cannot beacon this either. It has no effect, but you can put efficiency modules in here. If the power is just a really big problem for you, you can put efficiency modules in here as well. And with 5 of them, you can get it down pretty low. So this is continuing to construct trains. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. There's already a train in here. I guess we'll find out, or I'll find out. But yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much. Any questions, thoughts, leave them down below as always. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.